The creation of objects in the universe after the Big Bang involves a complex and sequential process of matter formation and structure development. Here's a high-level overview of the types of objects formed, listed roughly in the order they appeared. 1. Subatomic particles: quarks, gluons, electrons, neutrinos, photons. Quarks were created in the very early universe, shortly after the Big Bang, during a period known as the Quark epoch. Here's a brief overview of how quarks were created. 1. Big Bang. The universe began with the Big Bang, an incredibly hot and dense state. In the immediate aftermath, the universe was filled with a hot, dense plasma of quarks, gluons, and other fundamental particles. 2. Quark-gluon plasma. In the first fraction of a second, approximately 10⁻12 seconds, the temperature of the universe was so high that quarks and gluons could not bind together to form protons, neutrons, or other hadrons. Instead, they existed in a free state known as quark-gluon plasma. 3. Cooling and expansion. As the universe expanded, it began to cool. When the temperature dropped below a critical threshold, around 10^12 Kelvin, quarks started to combine to hadrons in a process called hadronization. Formation of hadrons. During hadronization, quarks combined in specific combinations to form protons, neutrons, and other hadrons. This process occurred within the first microsecond after the Big Bang. Protons and neutrons, which are baryons, particles made of 3 quarks, became the building blocks of atomic nuclei. The creation of quarks and their subsequent combination to form hadrons is governed by the strong force mediated by gluons, which is described by the theory of quantum chromodynamics, QCD. Gluons, the force-carrying particles for the strong nuclear force, were created in the same early universe conditions that produced quarks. Here's an overview of their creation. 1. Big Bang. The universe began with the Big Bang, creating an extremely hot and dense environment. In this state, fundamental particles, including gluons, were present in a highly energetic form. 2. Quark-gluon plasma. In the first fractions of a second after the Big Bang, the universe existed as a quark-gluon plasma. This plasma was a hot, dense soup of quarks and gluons, where they existed freely and interacted constantly. At this stage, temperatures were on the order of 1012 Kelvin or higher. 3. Quantum fluctuations. The conditions of the early universe involved quantum fluctuations, which led to the creation of particle-antiparticle pairs, including gluons. These gluons were constantly being created and annihilated in a dynamic equilibrium. 4. Cooling and confinement. As the universe expanded and cooled, the temperature dropped below a critical threshold where quarks and gluons could no longer exist freely. This process, called confinement, occurred within the first microsecond after the Big Bang. Gluons, as carriers of the strong force, mediated the interactions between quarks, causing them to combine and form hadrons, such as protons and neutrons. 5. Hadronization. During hadronization, quarks were confined into hadrons, bound together by gluons. The strong force, mediated by gluons, ensured that quarks could not exist in isolation, but only within composite particles like protons and neutrons. In summary, gluons were present in the very early universe, created as part of the fundamental particle interactions following the Big Bang. Their role as mediators of the strong force was crucial in the formation of hadrons from the free quarks present in the quark-gluon plasma.